Chelsea racked up the biggest UEFA Conference League victory ever, and our biggest win since 2012, as we dismantled Armenian side Noah at Stamford Bridge. Our 6 first-half goals went in 2-2. The floodgates opened in the space of 60 seconds as Tosin Adarabioyo and Marc Guiu bagged their first goals in Chelsea blue. Before the midway point of the half, Axel Disasi and João Felix added to that tally in quick succession as wave after wave of Chelsea attacks rained down on Noah's beleaguered defense. The next brace of quick-fire goals came from the right boots of Mykhailo Mudryk, an outstanding effort from 20 yards, and João Felix once more. Hopes we could maybe even better our record victory of 13-0, secured in the Cup Winners' Cup against Jeunesse Haute-Charage in 1971, were dashed in the second half as Noah tried to raise the drawbridge. We did manage 2 more goals, however, both scored by Christopher Nkunku as he continued his outstanding record in this competition. So 8-0 it finished, matching our scoreline in a Premier League fixture against Aston Villa in 2012, with most of the damage very much done in a remarkable opening 45-minute blitz. Unsurprisingly, we retain our place at the top of the Conference League standings. Team news. The big pre-match team news was the inclusion of Tyreek George from the off. He lined up on the right-hand side of an attacking quartet behind Guiu, who returned to the starting 11th for the first time since the qualifiers in this competition against Servette. Otherwise, the team had a familiar feel to those Enzo Maresca has selected in the cup competitions this season. Marc Cucurella and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall were the players to make way for George and Guiu from last midweek's loss at Newcastle. The shape in possession was 4-1-4-1, with Enzo Fernandez shielding the back 4. After the warm-ups were complete, John Dempsey's life was celebrated on the big screen, and with applause from all 4 sides after our FA Cup and Cup Winners' Cup-winning defender sadly passed away earlier this week. He had played in the 8-0 win away to Haute-Charage 53 years ago. This was for him. Early shock avoided tonight. Just 2 minutes were on the clock when Noah nearly stunned the bridge. A rapid counterattack opened us up, and Goncalo Gregoria had a clear sight of goal, firing his shot close to Philip Jorgensen, who used his upper body to repel it. Another incisive pass nearly released Gregoria again. The visitors had quickly shown they were not here for a day out, but any hope they held was ruthlessly extinguished. They should have gone behind in the 6th minute. George and Nkunku neatly exchanged passes on the right apex of the box, and the full debutant crossed hard to an unmarked João Felix. With the goal gaping, he couldn't steer his effort on target, the height of the cross too awkward to control. It did not matter. By the midway point of the half, we led 4-0. Blues barrage. The opening goal, on 12 minutes, was our first from a corner since early April. Fernandez sent it over and Tosin was too strong for his marker, cutely guiding his header into the bottom left-hand corner. João Felix was the next to get in on the act. Guiu brilliantly tackled Goncalo Silva, and the loose ball fell to Fernandez, who released João Felix first time. He deftly dinked the ball over Chancharevic, and it was 4-0 Chelsea with just 20 minutes on the clock. Guiu almost grabbed his second when Mudryk stood up across to the far post, and the striker's header was just about kept out on the line by a combination of defender and goalkeeper. The flood of goals continues. A relatively quiet passage of play ensued before, with the interval approaching, the Blues once more struck twice in quick succession. The first of those goals from Mudryk was the pick of the bunch, a ferocious shot from the edge of the box that flew into the top right-hand corner. No wonder he nodded his head in approval.